the show we promised you will be showing on the...
You will not notice that you saw a...
So far, what impact? You don't want the people to use your name to sing in their seat. My name is Ndy Akan. Welcome to Hangout with Ndy Akan. This is the show we promised you will be showing on Ndy Akan TV. On this show, we will be interviewing guests, personalities about the things they do and how it impacts on the society. On our show tonight, we have a very beautiful personality. Her name is Barrister Emem Ette. She's going to be talking to us about the things she enjoys doing so much and the impact this has given us in the society. Please join us as we welcome Emem Ette to the show.
As you said earlier, my name is Emem Ette. I don't know what else you want to know about me, but I'm the beloved wife of Honorable Justice Gabriel Ette. That's an achievement, that's what people say. And then I am a director with the Ministry of Justice, heading the Sexual and Gender-Based Violence Response Department, and also the Secretary of the Akwa Ibom State Gender-Based Management Committee. Yeah. All
right, we'll still come back to that.
Maybe we'll add that I'm a mother of 22 children, and I have more coming.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll still come back to that, but okay. You're a very well-known person who fights for the rights of women and children. We want to know how this all started and how you got to where you are today in this fight.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll go back to 2011 when I lost my husband. And I saw firsthand what widows were facing. And I was faced with a lot of grief, and I was looking for avenues where I could cope with it. And then I met a very beautiful lady, now a judge, Honorable Justice Teresa Obot, who told me, there is a platform you could use to touch lives, and that was the International Federation of Women Lawyers platform. And then it was not, it was in Akwa Ibom State, but not working there. So we were able to revive the feeder platform, and I was able to, through that, help widows, help the orphans, help people who were sexually assaulted, and every other woman who does not have a voice. I was able to use my voice for them, and also for others who needed help at any time. So that is how it started. And we've been able to come to where we are today through God. Because I realized after the death of my husband that there was purpose for me. And that purpose was for me using my voice for others who did not have a voice. So I found purpose, and it is God who has sustained me till now. And having found what He wanted me to do, He has been able to open so many doors for me. Doors I never knew I could enter into. He opened them, and through those doors, I've been able to reach more people, not just helping them with their lives, but helping them bring them into God's kingdom. Because at the end of the day, I'm Christian, I'm born again, I am all about God's kingdom. So we've been able, through what we've been doing, what I have been doing, what God has been using me to do, to bring more people into His kingdom and also help as many people as I can.
I was looking through your Facebook post the other day, and I discovered that you've added men to the fight. And that's obvious because some men are being abused by some women. The question I want to ask, why bring men into it? After all, it's a men's world. I think you should leave them to fight for themselves. Don't you think so?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We are trying to see how we could get a balanced world where men and women can live in peace and achieve their purposes, And so we added men because we found out that there are some women that are weary. Their head not correct. So we even if I fight for women, it is not every woman that I fight for. I call the man and then I listen to the man too. And then where I find that the woman is really the one at fault, I try to see how we could mediate and then find a resolution. But where the woman is still insisting, then I have to go and represent the man. I've represented men in courts severally, and then the first time I did, the judge was like, "Emem, you are not supposed to be for." I said, "No, I am, my lord, I am for the man." Because the woman head no correct. Let us correct our head small. You know, there are some, and then we are trying to encourage. In fact, next month I'm going to have a conference for boys. You know, we are trying to encourage men to move past what we were born to hear, that men don't cry, that men are supposed to bear all things. You are a man when you don't cry. You are a man when you don't tell your problems. And then we have found out that a lot of our boys are being abused at home by the mates, by their house girl or whatever they call. They are abusing our boys, and they are not able to talk because, one, you are not supposed to talk because you are a guy, and then you are supposed to be enjoying this thing now, you know. But after being abused by these young women, they grow up abusers themselves. And then the worst thing that is happening now is that we have young men abusing these boys too. So we have to instill in men, in boys, that act of talking, speaking out. Tell someone your problem. It is not embarrassing to not tell someone your wife is beating you. We've had a lot of men losing their lives because they refuse to speak out. But when they speak out and seek help, we might call the woman and see how we can sort out issues. Or where it is not possible for the two of you to live together as man and wife, we can look for ways to get you to separate. And then if there are children, we look for ways where you could take care of your children. So yes, I stand for men too. Yes, I stand for women. What I stand for is for justice. And then where children are involved, I am more interested in the welfare of the children because their interest is paramount. Their interest is paramount because where the home is at peace, the society will be at peace.
That's correct.
And because I might have well-trained children, well-behaved children, and then the other party does not have well-trained children, and those children will come and be a problem to my children. And so what we want to do is that let everybody have well-trained children, and from everybody having well-trained children, we'll have a well-trained society, a society where there is peace and tranquility. So that is our major reason why we now bring in men.
That sounds really, really interesting and educating. I remember growing up, children were for everybody in that environment. If another person's child does something wrong, the other person who is not the biological parent had the right to correct. But these days, it's not the same. What do you think is the reason why we are having such problems now? As in, if another person's child does something wrong and an adult who is not the parent tries to correct, the other parents get angry and go as far as warning you not to talk to or try to discipline their own child.
You know, we are having town hall meetings in communities this past few months, and we are trying to get our society to get back to those times where everybody was each other's brother's keeper, sister's keeper. Everybody was everybody's person. Like you said, when we were growing up, if you dare stand with a boy on the way to the stream and all that, and your neighbor, not even he's not related to you, sees you, they will drag you by your ear to your parents and say, look, I saw your child standing with someone and all that. And then we had what we used to call akata. You know, ekpo.
Like we have in my place, ekpo.
Ekpo, and then if a child gets pregnant, a girl gets pregnant, that night, the masquerade would take it around the village.
That's true.
And so it had a kind of put a lot of restrictions on girls, so that you don't want to get pregnant because you don't want the whole community to laugh at you.
You don't want the people to use your name to sing in their season.
You know, so we had more girls behaving well and all that. So we want to get back to that point. This afternoon when I was coming to this studio, I saw a young man putting his hands on a young school girl as I was just coming here. And I put my mouth through my window and say, no more because most of them, before you know it, that girl, something will happen.
Gets pregnant.
You get pregnant or raped.
Or raped.
Or raped. You know, and the other day I saw 2 children from a secondary school, and the child was walking sluggish. I said, what is wrong with this child? He said, Auntie, Ndy Akan, well, that is, did you know they put marijuana in jollof rice for him to take, and then, you know,
so that they can take advantage of her.
You know, and all that. So in fact, there was one that happened in a school just close to us here. They put that marijuana in rice for this child. She's in JS2, and she ate it, and was in her friend's house for 7 days, and all the boys in her class raped her.
Oh, God.
We discovered her 5 days after.
Jesus Christ.
And then she woke up from that 2 days after. And in that compound, we had neighbors
who noticed what was going on.
That something was going on and did not say anything.
Minding their businesses.
Minding their business. And if once police went in, all of them ran away. Why did you run away? If we do not go back to minding each other's business, the world will get worse. We have to consciously go back to how things were. We have to consciously look out for each other. A man beats his wife. Call your other neighbors, hit on the door, tell him we are going to report you, we are going to do something to you if you don't stop. Your neighbor doesn't start beating his wife, or your neighbor doesn't start beating her husband, and then you lock up your own room and say it is their business. It is their business. If that person dies, you are going to be a witness. For me, I will make sure you are arrested, and whether you like it or not, you will become a witness. If you don't want, I declare you a hostile witness, and make sure you stand in that dock. So we have to go back to being a brother's keeper, because it's really terrible. That particular case where that child was there for 5 days, we had to arrest everyone in that compound. We had to arrest everyone in that compound, because there's no way you will not know. You will not notice that you saw a boys coming into that place and leaving without finding out
what's going on.
What is going on? You know, we have to start looking out for each other. It's a great thing you are saying, and it is part of the things we are talking about as we go around federal constituencies. Yeah.
This is very, very important. I'm really elated to know how far you've gone. You've really gone far in what you are doing. Only God can bless you. Amen. But I want to also ask, so far, what impact of what you're doing is being felt in the society? And I also want to ask, which persons and organizations are giving you the needed support in this fight?
Okay, thank you very much. In the first place, I work as an organization. I work either as FIDA, or I work as the director of SGBB department, or as the secretary of the Akwa Ibom State Gender-Based Management Committee.
Okay.
You know, as I said, when the Akwa Ibom State Gender-Based Violence Management Committee was set up last year, as with the wife of the governor as the chairperson, you know, we started sensitization across the federal constituencies, and I'm happy to tell you that in those constituencies we have visited, there has been a huge reduction in rape cases.
Thank God.
A beautiful reduction in rape cases, and then people are now aware.
More sensitive.
Yes, are more sensitive to, and then they also know those actions we used to carry out before that we did not know are now criminalized. Like when you throw your wife's things outside, or you throw your husband's things outside and say, leave my house. It is not a criminal offense. Yes, it is not.
Really?
Yes, it is not a criminal offense. It is not a criminal offense to abandon your wife and your children. You can have 100 children, or nobody is stopping you from having 100 children. But as you are having 100 children, make sure you take care of the 100 of them. Because when you leave one, we are going to use that one to come and carry you. You know, so all those things that people did not know are now crimes. We go around telling them, look, this is now a crime. So the communities are now aware of these things, and they report. And then the beautiful thing is that most of the cases that happen now, it is even the community members that arrest and bring to us.
Good.
So we've engaged the communities, the stakeholders, the leaders, we've engaged the youths, the women, and all those people into this fight, especially against SGBV. So the impact is enormous, and we are really grateful. On Friday next week, we are going to Oron, we are going to Reform, we are going to that axis of Akwa Ibom, while the upper week we are going to Ikore, Borokara, and all that. So we are really making progress, and we have seen a good reduction in SGBV cases. And then we have people who are ready to tell their stories. Good. People who survive rape. That they are bolder, they want to come out, they want to tell their stories, and they want to use their stories to talk to other people who could come out. We are also talking to women living with HIV/AIDS, because it will interest you to know that we have a lot of people living with HIV/AIDS who are in denial of the fact that they are HIV positive. Yeah. And in living in denial that they are HIV positive, they are infecting so many other people because they have refused to take drugs for the virus. So we've discovered, we are talking to people. In fact, in the next 1 month, we are going to have a workshop for people living with HIV/AIDS, and those people who have been told that they are positive but are denying that they are positive. We want them to come out and listen, because we are going to give them life skills on how to cope for their mental health. We are going to talk about their rights. We are going to talk about so many other things. We are going to equip them to be able to live that life, because HIV/AIDS is no more a death sentence. We have people who come that they've lived with it for 25 years. Yes. They've lived with 18 years and they're ready to come out and say, this is how I did it. So many things are going on. And as we go on, things are expanding, and we are trying to see how we can expand and, cope with the things, and as we go on. Yeah. But then overall, the impact has been very effective. Good. As we have had a major reduction in cases of SGB across the state, except domestic violence. Because recently we've seen a slight increase in domestic violence. Yeah, that is the intimate husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, more with boyfriend and girlfriend, and those ones that say, me.
Okay, those ones that say, with me. Those ones, I think we used to call them higher purchase, because you have paid small. You have not finished paying.
So even that's what they have paid. If there's no payment, it might just be just to say it to
maybe they just carry court.
But some of them don't even have a court. And it is these people that we just had one that the husband, which we are going to go public soon, he inserted a heated rod into the privates of the wife, not the woman she is living with, that has 2 children for him. Recently, we are going to put out his pictures and everything. I think we are going to go public tomorrow. So the woman was bending over to rub cream, and he inserted iron into her private. And this is someone who has not paid dowry on this girl. So as we are talking, we are telling single girls, we are telling people out there, if a man has not put the ring on it, don't even go and devalue yourself. Because the person you are living with that has not married does not have any value for you.
That's the word, value.
Does not have any value for you. Especially when you go and give birth to 10 children, 100 children, there is still no value.
No value.
Because even when you come to court and you want to proceed against him, you do not have what we call a local standard. You don't have the place to stand to even sue him.
How?
You do not have a place to stand. You can only have a place to stand for him to take care of the children. But if you had contributed to building property with him and acquiring things with him, you do not have any stand to say anything about what you acquired with him, no matter the number of children you have given birth to. So these are the things we are taking to the public. These are the things we are sensitizing people about, because by the time a man says, oh, I don't want you again, and pushes you out, something will happen, and then they will carry stick, they will carry machete, and then either they kill somebody, or they beat somebody, or they pour acid, or they do this and do. So a lot of things are happening in society, but then we are seeing how we can cope with it. Yeah.
This is really eye-opening.
Yeah.
It's interesting to know all this that you have told us today.
Yeah, and the second part of your question, the organizations that we are working with, we are working with FEREP. That's fair. We are working with the line ministries, the Ministry of Women Affairs, Ministry of Health. Everybody, our hands are on deck. Everybody, because like the SGBV department, it has all the line ministries that are members in the committee, and then we also have the NGOs that are members there. Even committee leaders are also members of the committee. So we are working with everybody right now. As long as you are willing to work, we put you on board, and then we work, because no one organization can do this.
No one person can do it all.
No.
Amazing. That's very, very interesting. The next question I want to ask is, how do you think that the social media has affected the mentality of our youths as it pertains to what we are talking about?
It's both ways, positively and negatively. Let's talk about marriages, for example. We have a lot of groups on Facebook and people on Facebook who have very rash ideas of what a relationship should be. And then a young girl or a young boy who is married will now go to Facebook to go and get advice and apply. And then before you know it, a one-day-old marriage has crashed.
I know you are someone who built your life and career from the scratch. You built your foundation from the beginning.
Yeah.
Now, what do you have to say about our youths today that have this get-rich-quick syndrome? What do you think we should do to help them unlearn such thing from their heads?
There is no get-rich scheme that will make you rich. You can get rich, but it will always end in destruction. Something must happen that will take you right back to a worse situation. What I will tell the youth is that hard work pays off. And everything that you do legally will always be permanent until Christ comes. Exactly. So I want to advise our youth to please look for those things that are legal, things that are real. Go through the process. Don't want to jump. Don't want to run. There are also side hustle you can do legally that can help. Even as a student. As a student, I made hair. I did so many other things to be able to cope when I was in university. And I think it was that hard work that has made me to be able to cope with a lot of challenges and difficulties I've passed through as a person. So hard work, going an extra mile in working, has helped me a lot. I was noticed and given the most hardworking public servant in the Akwa Ibom State Civil Service because I stayed beyond 4 p.m. By the time you work 8 to 4 p.m., you will just get your regular salary. But when you work 8 to 6, God will always give you that extra. Exactly. So when you are given to a point B and you take it to a point D legally, you will always get rewarded because it is only God that rewards hard work. So hard work is it. Hard work in the morning, hard work in the afternoon, hard work at night.
Hard work. Yeah. Amazing. And then God's grace working for you. That's really amazing.
Yes.
On this note, I want to say thank you very much, Barrister Emem Ette. It's been a very amazing time with you. Wonderful time out with you. Thank you for hanging out with us today. I pray God helps you through. The grace of God will be more than sufficient for you, for you to go higher and higher and higher in the name of Jesus. And so I want to say thank you for staying with us for this episode. And I promise you that we'll be having more personalities that will be sharing their experiences with us. And then we will keep learning and learning. Thank you for staying tuned. Please remember to subscribe to Ndy Akan TV. Thank you and God bless you. This is the show we promise you will be showing on Ndy.
You will not notice that you saw a...
So far, what impact? You don't want the people to use your name to sing in their